November, we will reverse a trend. When you win the presidency, for some reason, you always end up losing the House. You get complacent. You win. And now you sit back and you relax. That's the worst thing can happen. Because all of a sudden you have another election.
So who should be more worried headed into the midterms in about 6 months? Here to debate is GOP pollster Justin Wallen and Democratic strategist Joel Payne. Great to see you both. Thank you for being here. Justin, I'll start with you because the Democrats need to flip 23 seats, and the experts are saying that they predict they will flip anywhere between 25 and 40 seats. So knowing that information, it's going to be very tough. What do Republicans need to do?
Well, this election, just like pretty much any other, is about issues. It's not necessarily about personalities. And I think that's one of the missteps that could happen on either the Democratic or the Republican side. I tend to see it a little bit more on the Democratic side. I don't see the messaging and the themes quite as strong. Where Republicans are strong is there were two huge issues last year that needed to be pushed forward. One was tax reform. The other was health care reform. Failed with health care reform. Succeeded with tax reform. And the third issue, which is much smaller, is infrastructure. If something can be done with that, at least Republicans can claim ownership. Ownership is big right now. Action is important. We need to see that in order for Republicans to have a chance to buck the historical trend of midterms.
Joel, what do you think the reason is for the Democrat? It looks like it's in favor of the Democrats. The Democrats will take the House.
The president, you know, it was very interesting that he was even in Tennessee last night. You know, I've worked in politics. I worked for the former Majority Leader Harry Reid. And the idea that you're even in Tennessee as a Republican president, what, 3-4 months before Election Day, defending a seat that you should never have to defend, a state that the president won with over 60% of the vote in 2016, that shows you how weak he is in Tennessee. That shows you how rudderless the Republican establishment is in Tennessee because the president has put them in that position, because he's failing in Trump country. Republicans are running away from him. Marsha Blackburn is going to have to hold on for dear life to hold on to that seat. I think that's the big story from last night, that the president even had to defend that seat in Tennessee last night. That's the big story.
Well, every president's done this, right, Justin? Every president goes into areas where the races are tight to try to rally the troops.
Yeah, sure. And I think one of the funny things about what the president said last night was, who is the opponent? I've never heard of him. Well, I mean, come on, successful governor of Tennessee. Right. I mean, if the Democratic Party was going to pull together the right candidate for this race, that's the candidate. And that's why it's tight. It's not because Trump is losing support in any meaningful way for Republicans. I mean, this is ultimately about Blackburn, not necessarily about Trump.
Okay.
Yeah, his numbers are down by 10 points. So.
Well, they've been contracting ever since fall. So he is upside down.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not pretending about anything. He is upside down, but they're contracting. And Trump is seen as, you know, relatively independent. He's not necessarily fully tied to the Republican Party. This can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. At the end of the day, what I said earlier still stands. It's about issues, and if Blackburn owns the issues that matter to Tennessee, then she'll emerge victorious.
Justin, Joel, thanks so much for being here.